Today in our society, there's too much freedom, yes or no?
I think definitely living in New Zealand, we have more than some people.
For sure, yeah. It's pretty scary.
I have seen a lot of international students having too much freedom to do what they want just because their parents have money. So basically, if you have a lot of money, you have a lot of freedom.
On social media, I reckon you have
too
much freedom. Like, anyone is able to post whatever.
I feel like, yes, in terms of, like, you know, that whole argument with, like, free speech.
Oh, yeah.
And just, like, people being able to say, like, things that are racist or, like, sexist and claim it's free speech. It's ridiculous.
I don't think there's such thing as too much freedom.
I think there's too much, perhaps, corporate freedom or too much sort of commercial freedom.
I wouldn't say there's too much freedom because we still have rules to abide by.
Yeah.
Some countries, like, some girls don't really have much freedom as, like, we do here.
No, I don't agree with that. I don't think there's too much freedom.
Nah, there's probably not enough.
I'd disagree. I'd say no because, you know, what's the point in being locked into something? You know, everyone deserves to be free and have the freedom to do what they want. Because if we didn't have freedom, people wouldn't get creative.
No, I think freedom is great and we need all we can get.
I think in some ways there's more freedom than we've ever had.
I guess that freedom really comes from being connected in the internet. So in our society here in New Zealand, freedom is great, but I think in third world countries where they don't have access to internet and even basic living, they don't have that same freedom.
In New Zealand, we live in a country where there's a lot of freedoms and that we can live our lives for the most part how we choose, but I think that's confined by the law.
Our levels of freedom are where they need to be. So I don't think there is too much freedom.
Are we free?
Well, I know I'm free. Are you?
Yes, I'm free, but
I don't know, am I free?
Is there too much freedom? No, I don't think so. Being free to do what you want to do, I don't know, to express yourself is almost what makes us human.
Can I say yes and no?
I think having freedom in a kind of democratic society means that you have full autonomy over yourself and your decisions and your body and the way that you live your life as long as it doesn't harm other people. And I think a lot of the time there are still restrictions on people's freedoms and their kind of right to self-determination.
Freedom at times is in the eyes of the beholder. Ki te wātea te hine ngaro, me te kaha o te rere o te wairua, ka tae ngā mea katoa, which means when the mind is free and the spirit is flowing, anything can be achieved. So it's about awakening.
Democracy is the worst form of government except for all the others. Yeah, I agree with that. That's very fair. That's such a good statement.
I agree. I disagree. I mean...
Well, let me just try deconstruct that.
Just gonna unpack that. It's big words, and I'm...
Government is a really hard thing to do. You've got so many voices, you're representing millions of people. No one's gonna be happy. You can't make everyone happy. Yeah, I mean, maybe best of the worst, for sure.
Democracy is not the worst form of government, but it can be bad.
Never really put that much thought into, is this the best society? I think it's much more, I was born into a democratic society, and therefore it is all I know.
I like democracy. I disagree with the fact that saying that democracy is like not chill, but I do agree with it in the sense that of all of the other options, democracy is the best.
I would say that democracy is probably the best form of government. Again, some of the systems that we use to vote within democracy, I think could maybe change or take a look at.
You know, without democracy, what else would we have? You know, I'd rather a democracy than a dictatorship, so I would disagree.
Yeah, I guess I'd agree with that. I disagree. I think it's a pretty effective sort of form of government and it seems to be successful. And
yeah, I think it's all chill.
there's no worries there.
And it's been like that for quite a while, and everyone seems pretty settled.
Yeah, if there was something wrong, I'm sure we would have noticed by now.
For you, voting is a fundamental right for everyone, a citizen's duty that should be mandatory, an illusion of democracy that does not serve much purpose. I think it's a fundamental right for everyone. You should vote. It's kind of exercising your democratic right.
I think everyone should vote because you live in a society and you're a citizen of a country and you have your voice, and so many people don't. It's a privilege.
I think it's a fundamental right for everyone to vote. I love being in a democracy. I love that everybody has a say and that the power literally is with the people at that point to elect our own government and parties and who we want to lead the country.
If you're going to complain about something, you should vote. Like, you can't say, oh, no, I didn't vote, but then complain about what the politicians are doing.
I really like an illusion of democracy that does not serve much purpose. That appeals to me, but I think it's a fundamental right for everyone.
Everyone has the right to vote and like to make that change that they want to see in the future. And yeah, even one vote could change, you know,
a lot of things.
It really can. It can change a lot of things.
I really think it's a citizen's duty that should be mandatory. I think it's like a huge responsibility.
I think it's a fundamental right to everyone, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's mandatory. I think that is on a person-by-person basis.
I believe it's a citizen's duty. It's a duty that you should take out to make sure that this is the right government for us.
Voting is a citizen's duty that should be mandatory. Compulsory voting in New Zealand, we should be a thing.
A fundamental right for everyone. Definitely.
Although I do tend to think, is it an illusion of democracy? And it's kind of like some of the decisions are already made regardless of how we vote. I don't know. But yeah, I'd like to think largely a fundamental right for everyone.
A citizen's duty, but I don't think it should be mandatory.
It kind of is optional, right? I mean, it's not, is it? Like,
it is optional to vote.
Okay, yeah. I don't think it should be mandatory. If someone doesn't agree with
I don't think you
either
necessarily
party,
need to have an input.
Yeah, it's just like there's no point really. If they don't agree with how something is going to
They're happy just to leave it, then so be it.
Yeah.
If an election were held today, what would I do? Yes, I would vote. No, because nobody represents my opinion. No, it's too much effort. I'm not eligible to vote. No, because I don't know how. No, because politicians never listen to people like me. I would vote. I voted in the last election.
Yes, I would definitely vote.
I would vote.
Yeah, I would vote.
Yes, I would absolutely vote.
Yes, I would vote.
Yes, I would vote.
I would vote because I think I have to vote. And it's also one of those things where if you don't vote, you can't complain.
I did vote, and yes, I would vote. By me voting, it's me having a say.
Yeah.
Yes, I would vote. Hands down.
Yes, I would.
Yes, I would vote. I always vote.
Yep, I always vote.
I'd ask, what am I voting for?
I would go vote. Yes.